Namaste, Hive Tribe. Welcome to YogaHive Online. My name is Teacher Poy and today we'll be doing a YinYasa practice. YinYasa is a combination of your Vinyasa and Yin. And for this particular class, we're gonna do the first part as flow style. So we focus on moving with your breath. As for the counter poses, we're gonna do it Yin style. So the latter part of the practice will be slower. Some reminders: try to be mindful as you move through the poses. There will be child's pose breaks, but at any point that you may need more, feel free to stop and come into the posture. No need to stay the pose. Just try to stay in the option that works for you. When you're ready, see if you can find yourselves in your mats and come into your most comfortable seated position. You may simply cross the legs, or if the hips are open, try to align the heels with the groin. Draw the sit bones, lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders backwards, hand placement on top of the knees, and make close the eyes. Start your practice by building its foundations, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Using every inhale to energize the bodies and using the out breath as you ground yourselves in the present moment. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. As you continue with the breaths, see if you can use the inhalation to become more aware of the space between the four corners of your mats. And as you exhale, see if you can become more aware of the space within the confines of your physical bodies. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Now take this moment to set any intention that you may have for today's practice. It can be anything that excites the minds or inspires the hearts, or maybe just honoring the drive that brought you to your mats today. Using this intention as a guide and a source of strength as we explore ourselves through the practice. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. On the next inhalation, we sweep both hands up, palms touch. And as you exhale, let the energy flow, bring the hands into your heart center, bow the heads down, namaste. Blink the eyes open, let's begin, bring the hands in front of you, and please find yourselves in your all fours. In your all fours, you want to spread the fingers wide, keep the shoulders right above the wrists, hips on top of the knees, toes maybe top or on top, whichever is comfortable. On an inhale, cow stretching the bellies down, tailbones lifting up, body gaze up. Exhaling to cut, rounding the back, navel to your spine, chin to your chest. Inhale to cross, stretching bellies down, tailbones lifting up, roll the shoulders backwards. Exhaling to cut, press the floor away from you, draw the navel in, look towards your navel. Inhale to cow stretch, feel the stretch in your core, look up. Exhaling to cut, stretch, feel the stretch in your back muscles, eye gaze to the navel. Inhaling to carve for one last time. And as you exhale, reset the universal spine, eye gaze in between the palms. From here, tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back, come into your very first downward facing dog. When you're down dog, you want to spread the fingers wide, really press the finger pads on the floor. Continually push the hips up and back as you draw the navel in. See if you can move the legs towards extension, or if it feels right, round the heels. If the heels are floating, perfectly fine. Do any movement that allows you to find your deepest downward facing dog, maybe bending one knee followed by the other, swaying the hips side to side, or opening your chest from one side to another. Once you find your deepest downward facing dog, keep pointing the 10 toes towards the front as you look at the space between the legs, or breathe towards your navel, and we're staying for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. From here, see if you can bring the knees to the side edges of your mats. Point your toes to the back, sit on your heels, melt the chest and the foreheads down into your child's pose. Child's pose is a recovery pose at any point in our practice today that you may need to recover or find your breath. You're always free to access this pose. And we all stay in child's pose just for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. From your child's pose, inhale, return to your all fours on the palms and on the knees. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back, come into your downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, we look at the space between the hands, making baby steps. Slowly walk the feet forward in between the hands. Now once you're there, inhale halfway left, lengthen the spine, hands on the shin, flat back, look forwards. Exhale, draw the navel in, hinge from the hips, fold forward and down. From here, continually press the navel to the spine, chin closer towards your chest. Slowly undulate the spine one vertebra at a time, lifting the chest first, followed by the head. And as you come into a standing position, pull the shoulders backwards with an exhalation. On the next in-breath, we sweep both hands up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, take the energy and strength for your hands into your heart space and into the sides, coming into Samastiti. Moving into our sun salutations, let's start with sun salutations A. Inhale, upward salute, sweep both hands up, palms touch. Exhale, draw the navel and hinge from the hips, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, hands on the shin, look towards your nose. Exhale, soft bend the knees, touch the floor, step walk or jump back. High plank to low push-up. If it's too much, you may bring the knees down. Inhale, scoop forward to your upward facing dog, pull the shoulders backwards. And as you exhale, hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Stay in down dog just for 3 cycles of the breath. Continually push the floor forwards and downwards as you feel the hips moving up and back. Feel the length on the side bodies, behind the spine, and behind the thighs. For one more round of the breath, inhale. And exhale. Soft bend the knees, look at the space between the hands. Inhale, step, walk, or hop in between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, look towards your nose. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward and down. Inhale, we come into a standing position. Sweep both hands up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart space and into the sides. Samastiti. So we're going to Namaskara B. Inhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, hips back, sweep both hands up. Exhale, descend with control into forward fold, heads and shoulders relax. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, hands on the shin or fingertips on the floor, look forwards. Exhale, soft bend the knees, touch the floor. Step, walk or jump back, high plank to low push up. Inhaling to upward facing dog, lift the thighs if possible. And as you exhale, high with the hips, downward facing dog. From here, pivot your left heel down, right foot steps in between the hands, and we rise into your warrior one, strong legs. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to touch the floor. Right foot steps back into a plank pose, or strong, bend the elbows, hover the chest down. Inhaling to upward facing dog with an in-breath. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, pivot your right heel down, left foot steps in between the hands, and we rise. Warrior one, contract the shoulders forwards and upwards. Exhale, hands touch the floor, left foot steps back into a plank pose. Core is engaged, bend the elbows, low push up. Inhaling to upward facing dog with an in-breath. And as you exhale, high with the hips, downward facing dog. And we stay in down dog just for 3 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 1. Continually press the navel to the spine. Inhale. Exhale 2. Arms, legs, and core active for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Looking at the space between the hands. Option to walk, step, or hop in between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, look towards your nose. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward and down. Inhale, sit on your imaginary chair, tailbones pointing down, so you put hands up. Exhale, stand tall, draw your hands into your heart space. And into the sides, Samastiti. Classical Swayam start. Inhale, standing back bend, bend the knees. Support the lower back as you open the chest, elbows pointing to the back. Exhale, draw the navel in, hands from the hips. Come into your forward fold, heads and shoulders relax. Soft bend the knees, touch the floor. Take an in-breath, right foot steps all the way backwards. Bring your right knee down, open the chest. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to touch the floor. Left foot steps back into a plank pose. Holding your plank, bring the knees down, chest and chin down, butts lifted, elbows pointing to the back. And with an in-breath, we glide the body forward, tummies down, point the toes backwards. Keep the elbows bent as you float the chest halfway. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We stay in down dog just for 3 cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale, 1 empty space between the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale 2. See if you can bring the heels closer to the floor this time for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Soft bend the knees, look forward. Take an in-breath, right foot steps in between the hands. Bring your left knee down. Open the chest. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to touch the floor. Left foot steps forward into forward fold. Heads and shoulders relax. Inhaling to standing back bend. Support the lower back. Lengthen the spine as you open the chest to the stars. Exhale, stand tall, put your hands into your heart space. And into the sides. Doing it on the other side, left side. Inhale, standing back, bend the knees, hips forward. Open the chest, support the lower back. Exhale, descend with control into forward fold. Heads and shoulders relax. Soft bend knees, palms flat on the mat. Inhale, left foot steps all the way backwards. Bring your left knee down. Open the chest. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to touch the floor. Right foot steps back into plank pose. Holding your plank, bring the knees down. Chest and chin down, but slip the elbows pointing to the back. And as you exhale, strike into cobra. Knees down, point the toes backwards. Squeeze shoulder blades as you lift the chest halfway. Exhale, tuck the toes. Push the hips up and back. Downward, facing dog. And we're staying in down dog. Just for 3, inhale. Exhale 1, keep the quads engaged. Inhale. Exhale 2, dip the mat with your toes and your fingers for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3, looking at the space between the hands. Inhale, left foot steps in between the hands. Bring right knee down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring the hands to touch the floor. Right foot follows. Forward fold, heads and shoulders relax. Inhale, standing back, bend the knees, hips forward, open the chest, full stretch on the front side of the body. Exhale, stand up, put your hands into your heart space. And over the sides. And we find stillness here, just to feel the warmth in our bodies and the warmth in our breaths. For 3 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Now from here we come into the flow. Let me stand on this part of the mat. So remember, at any point that I'm doing the pose facing you, I'll be doing it in mirror image. So my right is your left and your left is my right. Take an in-breath upward salute, sweep both hands on palms touch. Exhale, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers to the skies. Now with an in-breath, ground your toes, keep pointing your fingers to the stars, and as you exhale, drawing the navel inside, bend towards your left side. See if you can use your right hand to pull, or see if you can use your left hand rather to pull the right hand towards the left side. Feel the stretch on your right side body. Can you pull the right shoulder backwards and look towards the ceiling? Kriyaka Tadasana for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale to keep the tailbones pointing down. Navel is in for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Take an in-breath, return to center. Exhale, plug the shoulders back to the shoulder joint. And with an in-breath, palpate energy from your toes to the index fingers. This time we go to the right side. Use right hand to pull the left hand towards the right side. Pull left shoulder backwards towards the ceiling. Stretch on the left side body this time. Palm to the pose. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Take an in-breath, return to center. Exhale, release the hands, come into your forward fold. Hands and shoulders relax. From your forward fold, see if you can heel toe the feet hip width distance apart. So imagine one foot is approximately to this from the other. And from here, we're going to have options. Easiest option is grab the elbow of the opposite arm. Second option, see if you can bring your peace fingers to grab the big toes. Or for the expression of the pose, palms underneath the feet, toes pressing behind the wrists. Whatever you are, elbows, peace fingers, or palms, take an in-breath, we straighten the legs, look forward. And as you exhale, draw the navel in. See if you can press the chest towards your thighs. Allow the head to dangle in front of you as you look at the space between the legs. If you're reaching for your feet, see if you can keep the elbows bent and pointed to the side. Float the shoulders away from the floor. Feel stretch behind the hamstrings as you continually engage the core by hugging the navel in. 1 more round of the breath and you fold. Inhale. And as you exhale, soft bend the knees. Release the hands on the floor. Now from here, take an in-breath. We're stepping your right foot all the way backwards. Bend your left knee, gaze forward, lunge. And as you exhale from here, make sure that your left knee is on top of your left ankle. Pivot your right heel down. With an in-breath, we open your chest towards your right side. And as you exhale, straighten the arms. Come into your warrior two. Maybe I can turn so that you can we can see each other, or you guys can see me rather. So from here, you want to make sure left knee is on top of your left ankle. Outer grade of the right foot is grounded. Find extension on the arms as you look towards your left fingers. What you want to feel here is that the thighs are coming back to the hip joint. Navel is pressing in and tailbones are pointing down. For one more round of the breath, inhale. And exhale. Now take an in-breath. We're going to straighten the left leg. Heel toe the right foot closer to the left, but if you must. Left hand reaches forward and down. Right hand reaches up into triangle. Left hand can stay on the shin for the easier option. Maybe to the ankles, or left these fingers to the left big toes. Whatever or what you want to feel here, extension is happening on both legs, both side bodies, and both arms. And the rib cage is not popping up, it's hugging in. Stay and breathe. For 2 more, inhale. Exhale 2. One more round of the breath, inhale. And exhale. Easing down, soften your left knee. Adjust the right foot backwards, you can return to your warrior 2. And so exhale, left elbow on top of your left knee. With an in-breath, right hand reaches to the skies. Exhale, right hand hovers on top of your right ear. So you're making a straight line from the tips of your right fingers to the outer grade of the right foot. Left elbow is slightly pressing on the left thigh. Keep the core engaged as you float your torso away from your left leg. You're breathing in side angle for 2 more, inhale. Exhale 2. One more round of the breath, inhale. And as you exhale, looking down, see if you can bring the hands on the inside of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot outwards, readjust the left hand under the left shoulder. Spin your right to look forwards. Find yourselves in your next breath. So let me do it facing the side. Oops. So your left foot is in front, right? Wiggle the right foot all the way backwards, bring your right knee down on top of your right toe. This is good already. Otherwise, if you want more, so you can press the floor away from your left chest. Exhale, see if you can come down to the elbows. If coming down to the elbows is too much, maybe you can use a prop, maybe a block if you have them at home, or maybe a book. Bring it underneath the elbows. And try to keep that left knee hugging towards your left shoulder. Feel stretch on the left inner groin and your right quads. Lizard pose for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. One more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Now take an in-breath. Come back to the palms. Press the floor away from your left chest. Exhale. Tuck your right toe. Lift your right knee. Left foot steps back into your downward facing dog. Flowing for Vinyasa. Inhale, shift the body forward into plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, hover the chest down. Inhale, look forward to upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. And with the knees down, we're going to take a break in child's pose. Stay in child's pose just for 5 more cycles of the breath. Let me adjust my mat. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. How are you guys? Exhale 2. Maybe you can take this opportunity to wipe your sweat or maybe take a sip of water. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. One more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 5. Now if you need extra time to recover, you're always free to stay here. Otherwise, when you're ready to flow, once again, inhale all fours. Exhale, put the toes under. Push the hips up and back. Come into your down dog. Recalibrate your down dog just for 1 more round of the breath. Again, keep the finger pads pressing on the floor. Keep the navel in and keep pushing the hips up and back. Just for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now looking at the space between the hands, this time the right foot will step in between the hands. Bending the right knee is forward lunge. And keeping your right knee on top of your right ankle. With your left heel down, left toes pointing to the left side. Both feet are flat. Take a deep breath, wiggle the hands. Open your chest towards your left side. And as you exhale, find extension on the arms and your warrior 2. This time you don't have to adjust because I'm facing towards you. Keep your right knee on top of your right ankle. Again, thighs are not going out. They're coming back to the hip joint so that you can, let me show you on it on this view, so that you can draw the navel in and tailbones are not sticking out like this. It's pointing towards the floor. Find extension on the upper body and we are breathing For one more round of the breath, look towards your right fingers, inhale. And exhale. And with an in-breath, we're going to straighten the right leg. Adjust the left foot if you must. Right hand reaches forward and down, left hand reaches up. Rotate Vinyasa, extended triangle pose. Again, right hand can be on the right shin, right ankle, or right peace fingers to the right big toes. Keep the chest open, but keep the rib cage in. We breathe for 2 more inhale. Exhale to see if you can gaze over to your left fingers for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, everyone look down, soften the right knee. Adjust your left foot, take an in-breath, return to your warrior 2. Exhale, right elbow on top of your right knee. With an in-breath, left hand reaches to the skies. Exhale, left hand hovers on top of your left ear. Again, create extension from your left fingers to the outer bit of the left foot. Keep the core engaged as you keep that right elbow light on top of your right body. Stay and breathe for 2 more cycles of the breath. Side angle pose. See if you can gaze towards the left palm for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale, slowly look down. Transfer your hands on the inside of your right foot. Heel the right foot outwards. Adjust the right hand under the right shoulder. Spin your left heel forwards. Find yourselves in the lizard pose. So from here, right foot is in front. Let me do it on this view. Right foot is in front. Wiggle that left foot all the way backwards. Bring your left knee down on top of your left toe. Take an in-breath. Press the floor away from your left chest. Exhale, this is good already, otherwise come down to the elbows with prop or without the prop. Lizard pose. Keep hugging the right knee closer to the right shoulder. Keep sinking the hips forward and down. Stretch on the right inner groin and maybe slide on the left quads. Just for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. And with an in-breath, come back to the palms. Press the floor away from your lifted chest. Exhale, tuck your left toe, lift your left knee, right foot steps back into a downward facing dog. Maybe taking your Vinyasa here or going directly to your child's pose. And once you're in your child's pose, you're staying for 5 cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 5. From here, return to your all fours on the palms and on the knees. And as you exhale, tuck the toes under, hips high to the sky. Let me do it on this view. Downward facing dog. From your down dog, look at the space between the hands. See if you can bring the knees down. Coming back to your fours. And we're gonna start with your right side. Take an in-breath, or let's start with your left side so that I don't have to adjust. Okay. See if you can step your left foot all the way backwards. Keep your left toes grounded. And then from here, see if you can pivot your left heel down, left toes pointing towards your left side. Okay. As for the right foot, challenge is to keep that right toe pointing back, or if you can, tuck your right toe for better stability. And spreading your right fingers away from each other, anchor the finger pads, inhale left hand on the left waist. The left hand reaches to the skies, and as you exhale, keep throwing the navel in as you look towards your left fingers. Coming into modified side plank. Just for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale, so avoid sticking the butts backwards. Keep the butts or keep the tailbones pointing towards your left heel. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bring your left hand down, spin your left heel up. Now with an in-breath, power to the palms, 3-legged dog, right foot lifts up. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between the hands, finding yourselves in your lunge once again. Now from here, see if you can wiggle the left foot all the way backwards, and as you exhale, bring your left knee down on top of your left toe. Palms on top of your right thigh, and press the palms down, lift the chest and the heads. Exhale, roll the shoulders backwards. What you want to feel your stretch is happening on the front part of your left thigh. Maybe just stay in here or challenge, extend the arms to the skies with an in-breath. Next exhale, see if you can bring the arms behind the ears. Again, whichever option that you're doing, try not to feel any pain in the lower back. If there is pain, maybe that's an indicator that you're going too much. So see if you can come back to a range that allows you to find comfort in the pose. And we're breathing for 1 more in your YinYasa. Inhale. And exhale. Take an in-breath, come into your upright spine position. And as you exhale, see if you can bring your right hand on the outer blade of your right hip. Take an in-breath, reach your left hand up. And as you exhale, side bend towards your right side. Maybe you can do it on this view. Let me just change my side. Okay, so if you can, see if you can use your right fingers to touch the floor. But again, keep the chest open. But you want to feel your stretches happening on the left side body and the outer blade of the left thigh. Lower lunge with the side bend, just for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale 3. Take an in-breath, return to center. Exhale, slowly release the hands to frame your right foot. Now from here, take an in-breath, keeping your left knee down. See if you can straighten that right leg, right toes pointing to the skies. And as you exhale, maybe staying here or drawing the navel in. Pull forward and down into your half split. Perfectly fine if the chest is away from the right shin. What's more important is you feel the stretch behind the right thigh. Gaze towards the right leg too and keep pressing the ball of the right foot forwards. We're breathing for 2 more. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale 3. Take an in-breath, shift the hips forward, step your right foot, bend your right knee. And as you exhale, tuck your right toe, or tuck your left toe rather, lift your left knee up, right foot steps back into a downward facing dog. Knees down, sit on your heels, mount the chest and the foreheads down, and your child's pose once again. And we're breathing for 5. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale 5. Take an in-breath, return to your all fours. And as you exhale this time, please stay. With an in-breath this time, see if you can step your right foot all the way backwards. Maybe you can change sides, but I'll still end up facing you guys. And as you exhale from here, pivot your right heel down, right toes pointing to the right side. Again, if you need extra stability, see if you can tuck your left toes. Spreading your left fingers, inhale, right hand on the right waist, open your chest, maybe just this one, or if you can, reach your right hand to the ceiling. Continually press your left palm on the floor as you open your chest. Look towards the tips of your right fingers. Modified side plank. Again, avoid touching your butts backwards. Keep the tailbones pointing down. Navel is in. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, look down. Bring your right hand on the floor. Spin your right heel up. Take an in-breath, power on the palms, 3-legged dog, left foot, left side. And as you exhale, left foot steps in between the hands. Bend your left knee, look forwards, lunge. Wiggle right foot all the way backwards once you find your maximum. Bring right knee down, on top right toe. Palms on top of your left thigh. Inhale, press the palms down, lift the chest and the hips. Exhale, roll the shoulders backwards. Again, this is good already. Just try to feel the stretch in the front part of your right thigh. And if you want more, take a minute, extend the arms to the skies. Exhale, bring the arms behind the ears. Now crescent lunge, we breathe for 2 more. Inhale. Exhale to never jamming your lower back for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale, please take an in-breath, upright spine. And as you exhale, bring your left hand on the outer blade of your left thigh. Maybe I can do it on this view. With an in-breath, wherever you are here or here, lift the chest. Exhale, side bend towards your left side. Now again, keep the chest open. If it feels right, try to touch the floor with the tips of your left fingers. Stretch on the outer blade of your right thigh. Breathe for 2 more cycles of the breath. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, take an in-breath. Come back to center. Exhale, slowly release the hands. Returning into your low lunge. Let me just come back to this view. Take an in-breath. Right knees down. Straighten your left leg. Left toes pointing to the sides. Hold forward and down. Stay breathing. Let's thank you for Yin side, so rather lift your right knee, footsteps back into downward facing dog. Option to take Vinyasa or step dog or jump into seated position. See if you can find yourselves to lie on your back. From here, see if you can get a block. So your block doesn't have to be a block if you don't have it. It can be a pillow or a towel rolled or folded several times. Now, from here, see if you can get the prop. Press the feet down, lift the hips up, and see if you can bring that prop underneath your sacrum, that pony area right above your butt crack. Now, once it's secured, see if you can straighten one leg followed by the other. Allow the toes to point towards the sides. Arms may stay on the sides of the hips, palms facing up. Arms extend beside the ears. Grab the elbow of the opposite arm. Wherever you are, what you want to feel in your first pose is release and openness on the front side of your bodies. Once you're supported, bridge pose. And see if you can take this moment as well to let go of your control on the breath. This time, just letting the breath naturally flow. And again, just observing the sensations the posture is giving us. Taking this opportunity to slow down as we embrace the sense of stillness the posture gives. At any point that you may need to feel more, you're free to modify the height of your block or your prop. So if you have a block, maybe adjusting it into the tall setting. If you're not feeling anything, maybe adjusting it to the flat setting of the sensations. And again, just embracing this sense of openness the posture is giving us. Taking this moment to open yourselves for the beautiful energy that the practice is important to us. And more than opening our bodies, maybe opening our minds as well, and our hearts to whatever lesson around this experience. Now from here, slowly step the feet back into the mat and knees. Inhale, lift the hips up and exhale, slide across to the side. Bring the hips down. We come into the next posture. Our next posture will be your reclining twins. So from here, with the knees still bent, feet flat on the mat, inhale, lift the hips up. And as you exhale, we're going to drop your hips on the right side. Okay. And then from here, you want to make sure only the hips are moving towards the right side. Keep the shoulder blades where they are. So we cross your right foot on top of your left leg like before. And we extend the arms to the sides. If there's no space in between the elbows, and the elbows align with the shoulders. Inhale, hug left knee closer to the chest. And as you exhale, drop both legs towards your left side, look towards your right arm. What you want to feel here is stretches happening on the right side body, and it's extending up to the outer bit of your right thigh. So if you can place your left hand on the outer bit of your right thigh, or close the eyes and repeat. As you find stillness in this pose, notice how this position allows you to release tension in the lower back. And again, as we try to feel the release in the posture, we're not forcing it. So try to just stay in your 70 or 80% as you find yourselves in the pose. And again, trust the amount of time we have in order for you to really feel the pose at a deeper scale. And if you feel like coming into a deeper range is enough as a pose, you can deepen your practice by deepening the breath. This part of the practice reminding us that the practice is not just about holding poses, it's about breath as well. extend the arms like letting it towards the sides where there's no space. Heavy elbows. Inhale, draw your right knee closer to the chest, and as you exhale, draw both knees towards the right side, eye gaze towards your left hand. This time, release is felt on the left side body and outer weight of the left side, but again, the lower back feels the same. Notice the release of tension and this part. And again, with every breath that you draw, see if you can soften the target areas more. There's no judgment if you feel like the sensation on this side is quite different from the previous side. Again, never attaching ourselves to such and just observing. And likewise, never being disheartened by the imbalance that we have in our bodies. Rather using this presence of imbalance as our guide in mindfully moving and breathing and using our energies to take action as we align ourselves closer to a better sense of self-awareness. And as you find stillness in this pause, see if you can this moment to observe the equanimity and the equalness and the depth and the length of the inhales and exhales. Breathe. Slowly release the opening of the cortex back to the center. Slide your scalp to the center of your mat and release the back of the chest. Now from here, extend either arm, this one arm, to the left or the right, the side of you, and as you exhale, drop your knees to the side. And please make your way into your most comfortable sitting position. Last posture or last yin pose for today's practice will be your caterpillar pose. So from here, again, we're going to need your prop. So if you use a pillow earlier and it feels like it's very soft, maybe you can get a tumbler. Just make sure that the top of the tumbler is flat. And if it doesn't feel good for the forehead, maybe placing a towel on top of it. So from here, you want to straighten your legs towards the front, keep the feet hip width distance apart or maybe wider, depending on which feels right. And you're going to get your prop, you're going to place it in between your legs. As a safety precaution, you want to make sure it's high because we're going to use the prop to support your foreheads. Now on an inhale, palms facing up, lengthen the spine of the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin closer to the chest. Slide the body forward, and once you find your maximum seat, you can rest your forehead on top of the block. Try to keep the shoulders tension free, keeping the elbows soft. Maybe staying here. If you feel like you can go for more, maybe adjusting the height of the prop with this one, with this one, or with this one. Now, no pressure, and making your heads come closer to your mats. Again, the yoga practice is more of an internal experience. So in whichever range or you want to feel it behind the hamstrings and the calves, and behind the spine as well. And again, just notice how the length of the breath allows you to soften more. And how the length in the in-breaths and the out-breaths allows you to feel length as well in the target areas. Bowing our hands as a sign of gratitude for how the practice is an instrument in learning more and discovering ourselves at a deeper level. Bowing our hands as we become grateful of the bodies that allow us to explore the many ways by which we can live it. Always grateful for this breath, allowing us to find stillness, find peace, find comfort with ease, for some of the things just inside. And then from this we can move it up. From here, keep the feet flat on the mat, slightly bend the knees, and as you bring the thighs, slowly roll your spine, bringing the lower back, the middle back, the shoulder blades, and the hips. We come into the last posture, your Shavasana, hair free to modify, either knees together, feet as wide as the mats. It is also together, knees wide to the sides, or straightening one leg followed by the other, allow the toes to point towards the sides. Feet are as wide as the mats, hands at the edges away from the hips, palms facing up, and knees to the hands. And breathe. Towards the front for 1 5 stretch. Hug one chest followed by the heavy soles of eyes. Big hug, and as you exhale, straighten one arm beside the ear and lower knees towards the sides, finding yourselves in your side-lying position. In your own time, come up to your most comfortable seated position, facing the front, crossing the legs, grounding the sit bones, lengthening the spine. Eyes still closed, bring the hands into your heart space and now the heads down. Thank you, YogaHive, for sharing us your time and energy for today's practice. The light in me honors and salutes the light in each and every one of you. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining your YinYasa practice. Please watch out for the other classes that our beloved teachers will share with you in the coming days. Stay well and safe.